Hey everybody, this is Sandra with Willow57, and if you've been following along with me on my scrapbooking with me, I did a couple of videos of that. You will look at this and you will realize that this thing has gotten a lot better than the last time I videoed. Well, here's the deal. I had, a lifetime of stuff that I wanted to get into my scrapbook to catch up with my current day of where I'm at and things that currently I want to scrapbook. And obviously doing a video is slower, and not to mention the way that I started these out, well, it was just kind of boring. And let's face it, I can't do that. I have to have some pizzazz in my stuff. I'm a journaler, for goodness sake. So anyway, I went ahead and scrapbooked ahead, got us up to date. So today, what I'm going to do is kind of flip through my scrapbooks that I've finished and kind of let you see where I'm at, what I did really quickly. And then whenever I start the scrapbooking with me in my current scrapbook on the page that I am, then I can really do it the way that I really want to. And it's going to be a lot more interesting, I think, for all of you watching. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead. This is, like, we've already discussed the cover and some of these pages that we had already went over. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. I may have added a few things like this. I don't think was in the video. This is from drag racing days. Just different stuff that I found. This picture I don't think was in here. This was for my prom. This was for my high school graduation. This was for my senior trip. Anyway, I think those pages were all pages that I had done on the video. So this, I believe, is where I started doing it without the video. So I'm just going to go through kind of quickly what some of the stuff is. This is a calendar from when me and my husband first started dating, and I documented it. Just so sweet. So I put that in there, just a pin that I had from high school. This right here was our wedding, our guest page. It was a small but beautiful. Our church threw us a shower, and the ladies at the shower wrote us notes, advice, that kind of thing. So it was beautiful. This is our engagement picture. I just kind of did a flip over, did some journaling. This was some cards and whatnot that he's gotten me through the years. A few of them, I lost a lot of them in a tornado that hit our home. But these are some of the ones that I still have. This is a trip that we took to Dallas. Some shopping, went to the movies. So there's that. This was kids. This actually survived the tornado. That's why it's in such bad shape. There's a photo of our kids. And then this is just some of the artwork and different stuff, schoolwork. Some of my favorite stuff for my kids that I wanted to keep, and some of the stuff that I actually saved after the tornado. Some of it did get somewhat damaged from the tornado, but the writing and stuff is still readable. So I put some of that in there. These are two different pages that I kind of folded like that and glued the back down and then folded it over, made a little tab. On both of those, this is a piece of art that my daughter did, and I just hole punched that, put it in there, and then I stapled the covers of, these were some plays that me and my girls went to when they were younger, and I just took the cover off what tells you what it was about and put them on there. This is my son's stuff, some of the stuff that he made me when he was little, Mother's Day cards, birthday cards, again, some of the artwork that they did. This one right here was unique and might be helpful to some of you if you were a scrapbooker. If you have something very large that you want to put in a scrapbook, what I did was took 1/4 of it, and I glued that 1/4 down, and then I folded and folded, and then I put a paper clip, well, yeah, I did, over it to kind of hold it in place. And that way it's not very bulky, but it fits on the page. And then this was some stuff that my son drew me when he was little. Just memories of his from when he was a kid. I just love that with kids stuff, to see the world through their eyes. It's just fun. Mother's Day card. And then this is my youngest daughter's, some of her artwork and writings that she did. Schoolwork, again, memories that she did. I left some space here from journaling, just to write a couple of notes. This is not like my journal. This is just kind of documentation more than journaling of what I've got in here. That kind of thing. Some more Valentine's. This, I just took some scrapbook paper, glued it on 3 sides to make a pocket, and then I put some more of their artwork and pictures and stuff that I wanted to keep together in there. This is from after the tornado destroyed our house. When we bought a new house, we had no furniture or nothing, so we had to go and buy all new furniture. This was receipts for that. This was an aerial view of after the tornado. This was where our house was because it's gone. So there's that. This was about the tornado. This was colors that I chose for my new kitchen, which I ended up hating and did not last very long. I repainted. The Barlow Girls, they were a Christian group that my girls loved when they were younger. They actually came to Mina, and as a youth pastor, I got to open with prayer and hang out with them backstage. They were great girls. It was a fun concert. This was a walkathon my husband and I and my youngest daughter did. This was a bookmark that I bought on one of the cruises that we took. This was artwork from a dear friend, family friend, and some more artwork of hers and different notes, and this was some of her writing. This right here was the calendar I had from when I started youth pastoring and associate pastoring first time, and kind of documented in there. This is stuff from the second cruise that we took when our kids were a little older, and they each got to bring a friend, and just the different pamphlets that you get on the cruise that I put in there. This was family memorabilia. This was my cousin Tony married his sweetheart recently, although I did not get to go to the wedding. I kept his invitations and stuff. This is some of our family's graduations and different things, cards from family that I kept in here, and just did this as a fold out, and then it kind of holds all that stuff in together with this paper clip. Kind of saves on space. This is stuff from my dad's funeral. A card somebody sent me, and flower cards that they send you. And so I just put all that together like that. You can still see the backs of what they wrote. So that way it's still viewable. Another card somebody sent. This is a picture of us with our kids once they were a little older. And then we get into kind of their high school years artwork. And this, I made a pocket up here, and it's got some of their artwork in it. This is my youngest daughter's senior announcement from her high school graduation. This is a poem. She's an amazing poet. Is just amazing with words, and so she wrote me that poem. She and her family will be moving to the Oregon area. That's the area they love, and so this kind of reminded me of that area with the redwoods. And then some of her work from school when she was a little older. This is my eldest daughter's high school senior announcement. I made it into a pocket and put some of her stuff in here. That's her artwork. Picture. This is when she graduated Supernatural School of Ministry. That's her right there in Fort Worth. Some of her artwork. This is a painting that she drew or painted of a friend of ours in CBQ, Arizona, who has since passed. A picture of her artwork, some notes that she sent, and I did this as a pocket as well. It's got some more of her stuff in there from high school. We love the ocean, so that reminded me of her, and I put that there. This is from my son's high school days. This is when he played football. This is another pocket that's got some more stuff of his drawings and whatnot that he did in there. This is his graduation announcement. Some more of his writing or artwork, and a pin from the mum from one of his homecomings. And then the last page is of his wedding announcement. This was flowers from his wedding, him and his wife's wedding. And this napkin was from their wedding shower. So as you can see, I just kind of put this stuff in there. Pages were all white and kind of bland. I kind of doctored them up a little bit with some washi tape and whatnot, but nothing too extravagant. And so I knew that wouldn't be a lot of fun to watch on video. So I didn't bother videoing all of that, because I want our videos to get a little bit more exciting than just me slapping stuff on blank pages and la-di-da. There's so much more you can do with your scrapbooks. So I want to show you what more you can do. But before then, I did this one as well off camera. This is the second scrapbook, and this is all documenting years of youth ministry and as an associate pastor at the church we were attending. So this is all memories from that. These are some lanyards and stuff from many trips just a few of the many trips that I took as a youth pastor and associate pastor. These were Post-it notes that was kind of an inside joke for me. Post-it notes, I love them. And so they had everybody in the church write us notes, and when we retired from youth ministry. This right here is really cool. I'm going to show you in case you're interested in doing something like this. If you have a bunch of cards that you want to put into your scrapbook, but you don't want it to take up many pages, what you can do is kind of do this fold-out technique, where you put the writing of the next card on the blank spot, and then keep doing that all the way up until you've got it. And then they just kind of fold, if you do it size-wise, fold into each other, and it's a little bulky, not too bad, but a little bulky, but it doesn't take up as much space in your scrapbook. So that's a great idea on how to do that. E-Team is a discipleship group that I had with my youth that I loved. It was one of my favorite things I ever did with them. This is another card somebody gave us, which I did another card and attached to that one, kind of take up space. This one I actually accidentally put upside down. Oops, but that's okay. You can still read it, so I didn't bother to try to remove it and destroy it. This is all like Christmas and wedding and different announcement things that we've gotten throughout the years. I took this card, which is a Christmas card, and I love German Shepherds, so I made a pocket out of it and attached it on 3 sides, and then put that stuff inside of it, and then attach this to kind of fold over it and hold it all in place. This is another thank you card. And then this was a Christmas card a dear friend of ours, some dear friends of ours, hand drew for us at Christmas. It was just super sweet. And I made it to where you can see. And then there's another thank you card back here. This is artwork that some of the youth made me. A note from one of them. These two things are bookmarks that came from one of the ladies that made this card. She was a missionary to Peru for many years, and so she gave those away as prayer points to remember to pray for her while she was there. So I kept mine as I prayed over her, and now she's retired from that. I put them in my scrapbook. So anyway, this was some prophetic art that I did, and I didn't want to cut it off, and it didn't fit, so I had this card given to me from a dear little friend that I attached to the back, and then I just folded it over like that so you can still see the whole artwork, but it doesn't, have to hang out. And then I attached this to cover the blank spot. And then I made a pocket out of it, and this has got birthday and anniversary cards from people throughout the years in the youth and church ministry. This right here is a pocket full of senior announcements from different youth that were in our youth group. This right here was a prophetic art that I did, and inside of it are notes from a drama that we did. Drama was one of the main things that I love to do with my youth group. We did some amazing dramas, and they called me the drama Nazi because I was a little bit particular about how we did them, but they always did a great job and blessed many people through that. It was always one of my favorite parts of ministry. This was a picture that a dear friend drew of me. This was a poem that another dear friend and sister-in-law wrote for me. This was a piece of art. There was a little girl. She's not little anymore. She's grown up now. But when she was little, she drew me a picture and brought it to me on a day that I was having a really tough day. She didn't know, but the Lord showed her a picture. And she drew this picture and she brought it to me, and then later wrote me this note to kind of tell me about what she felt like the Lord was telling her. And I redid the picture because it meant that much to me in my own drawing. Actually, her drawing is in a frame on my wall. So this one was one that I redid of it. So anyway, that was her explanation for that drawing. This is another young man that is now grown up, but when he was younger, drew a picture of what a city on our knees looks like. This is when we don't pray. This is when we do pray. Some prophetic art that I did. This is love art from one of my teens. More prophetic art of mine. More of mine. This is a pocket with some more artwork and stuff in that. This is another art, and how this works is I've got this little piece of art that one of the little girls made for me, and it had a little kind of like a fan handle, I guess, that I glued on this side, and I folded it over to hold this in place, and then this kind of pulls out like this with some artwork that some of my teens did for me. Another one on that side, and then that folds over and holds that in place, and then use a paper clip to kind of hold that in there like that. This is some letters that people had written me throughout the years in ministry, and again, I used some of the kids' artwork to make a pocket with that. Some more of their artwork to make another pocket, and this was artwork that the little kids in the church had given me throughout the years. It's always special. When a little kid gives you art, I think you should keep it, because that's all they have to give you many times, and I think it's beautiful when they choose you to give it to. So these are some Christmas cards that I kept. Our church always did the Christmas card exchange every year, so this was just a few that I still had hanging around that I liked. That I did that fold out thing again, and then did the paperclip. And then on this page, this is a bandana thing that we did a event every year called Pure by Choice, PBC. And this year we had it was called the Survivor theme, like the TV show Survivor. We kind of did a Pure by Choice Survivor theme, and we had bandanas, and all the teams signed in. It was fun. This was a leather cuff that I was going to make for a friend, and I didn't quite like how it turned out, so I redid that one. And so there's that. That is from my youth and church ministry years. This was one of my youth bought me a Christmas ornament every year, and this is one that she had bought me. And then with this one, what I do, sorry if I hit the camera, is I just kind of take this and kind of hold it over this like this, kind of holds it together. So anyway, that was the two that I have done. Like I said, I just kind of put those together on the white pages, trying to hurry to get caught up, because that was a whole life's worth of stuff that had been in boxes for years and years that I wanted to do something with. And so I scrapbook, and I was going to videotape me scrapbooking all that, but I realized that would have taken me another lifetime to scrapbook all of that on camera, because it takes forever. So what I did was went ahead and just scrapbooked up to date. And so now I am on this scrapbook. This is scrapbook number 3. Again, I did a different cover and everything. And what I did with this one, I took scrapbook paper that kind of went together, and I glued 2 pages together to make it sturdier, and then I hole punched. And then so each page, as you can see, is unique and different and fun. Some scrapbook paper that I had. Again, if you would rather just use white paper, you're welcome to. I just want mine to have a little bit more color to it. So then what I'm going to show you now is a few pages that I've done in this one so far. I'm involved with a ministry out of Paris, Texas called All Inca Door of Hope. They do work with the First Nation people, and I have the privilege of being in that organization and helping that organization for the past 10 years. So I have collected some memorabilia from my journey with them and their ministry. These are the co-founders, and this is a painting that my daughter did of Terry, who passed away last year. This was a certificate that they gave me a couple years ago. I've gotten a couple of those, but I wanted to put one in here. This is some postcards that I had gotten on the trips that reminded me of the First Nation people, and so I got them to do some journaling on. These are some things that I have collected through the years, VBS things and pictures that just make me think of them, that kind of thing. This year was an exciting year because my husband finally got to go with me on one of the big trips. He'd gone with me locally on a smaller trip, but never on a big trip has he got to go. He's got to work and pay for my trips. So this year he did get to go, and we got to go to Monument Valley, which was also my first time to go to Monument Valley. And since I knew I was going to start scrapbooking, I actually collected a few things to scrapbook. So this is a good scrapbooking spread. Some postcards, the map of the area where we were at. This card, I loved it with the wolves. And then I had some pictures of our trip, and I did some journaling in there. This was some brochures that I picked up, two separate brochures that I kind of glued together. And then I took one of Inca's envelopes and made it flip out, and I've got some receipts from our trip in there. Some memories, and this folds down, and you can read about the natural bridges that we got to take a tour of, which was cool. We also got to take a tour of the monuments, and so these postcards kind of reminded me of that. And on the back side, I left them where you can flip them up and do some more journaling about the trip, and it was just a great trip. So now, that's where I'm at. So the next time that I do a video, this will be the page that I will start on, and then we'll go from there. Like I've said before, if you don't have the resources to make your own scrapbook, and I know a lot of people, when they hear the word scrapbook, they think of the pictures, and you make a pretty layout with the pictures, and I've done that kind of scrapbooking. I did it for several years, in fact. This is more almost like a smash book to me than it is a scrapbook, or they also call them what I would, like a junk journal kind of thing, where you keep scraps throughout your life and different things that may not mean anything to anybody else, but if you're sentimental full like I am, then you probably have boxes of them laying around as well. And this is just a great way to get them laid out to where you can look at them and see your memories in a way that isn't just in a box. They do not have to be in chronological order by any means. You can just start with grab the next thing on your table and put it down, It don't have to have any rhyme or reason to it whatsoever, or you can kind of chronologically order yours. Mine are kind of chronologically ordered, but not exactly. They may be theme oriented like this. All this stuff did not come in a chronologically. They just came throughout years of collecting, whereas this Monument Valley was all one trip, so they're all together. So it doesn't really matter how you do it. But it is important that we save our memories and document well our lives, because our lives are a blessing, right? So anyway, that's where I'm at. So the next time I do a video, I will be scrapbooking something recent and a little bit more exciting, I hope, than just watching me plaster down old stuff on white pages. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hope you understand where I'm at and where I jumped so far ahead all of a sudden on my journaling, my scrapbooking, so that you know where I'm at and you can follow along with me with your stuff where you're at. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys had a very blessed Labor Day today and a great weekend. Thank you guys. God bless you. Bye.